Spotlights of the nursing program. This is Spotlight Montgomery County, and I'm Carissa Mandrakia here with Dr. Linda Roy. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
So, the nursing program, tell me a little bit about it.
Well, the nursing program is really a very rigorous program, and in the college what happens is students take a number of their prerequisite courses and then they come to the nursing program where they take not only theory but clinical. So they take what they learn in the classroom setting and they apply it to patients in the clinical area in a variety of settings.
Where do they do clinical at?
We have over 70 clinical sites, anywhere from a physician's office to a hospital setting, ICU, pediatric, home care, a number of different places. So it's all throughout Montgomery County. So it's very difficult for me to tell you exactly because we would be here all day.
A bunch of different places.
A lot of places.
Now I hear there's changes in the nursing program.
We've made some changes. We were looking at our NCLEX scores, and the NCLEX is the RN exam. And we're looking at that because one of our outcomes is we want to make sure that students are successful on the exam and it's successful in the program. So a couple things that we did is we ran some statistics, and we found that students that tend to struggle in the sciences may struggle in the nursing program. So we're looking at students that have strong science base, strong math base, and we also have started an admission exam. And that admission exam is a national exam that looks at can students handle the rigor of a nursing program. So there is a benchmark the student needs to meet to be able to apply to the nursing program, the clinical component of the nursing program.
Yeah, I remember when I first started going to college, I thought, oh my gosh, I want to be a nurse. And then I looked at all the courses and everything, I was like, oh, maybe not so much.
And that's a common misconception. A lot of people, I like to help people, and that's great. We need students that like to help people and like people, because if you don't like people, it's difficult to be a nurse. But we also need students that can do well in the sciences and math. One of the things that I like students to know is I want you to think about if you're in the hospital or your child's in the hospital or your spouse, whoever, and they're getting medications, what do you want the nurse giving them to have scored in math, giving them medications? Do you want them to have scored 100 or do you want them to have scored 50? I think you want them to excel to be safe.
Oh, definitely.
But the other things that I think it's important for students to know is that even if they want to help people, nursing is not the only career. There are lots of health science careers. There's a number of them here at the college and other places too that really do help people, that really use a lot of talents and really get people, into that profession and working with people. So nursing is a wonderful career, but there are other ones also.
Okay, now if someone has all these credentials where they can be a nurse, so you said they take like an admissions test and all that. How does that all work?
They take an admission exam, and the admission exam is given over at the testing center, and they need to then score a particular benchmark to be able to apply. And then the student applies to the nursing exam, and right now the student is accepted based on a points sheet, so to speak. So they get so many points for certain grades, particularly the science grades and the math grades. And then they're admitted to the clinical component. We admit to the clinical component both all 3 semesters, spring, summer, and fall. And the students then are admitted. They have to get a number of what we call clinical requirements. And those are background checks, criminal abuse, child abuse, FBI fingerprinting. They have to have CPR. They have to get liability insurance and all those types of things. And then that allows them to go to clinical. And that's one of our contractual agreements with our clinical agencies. So the students need to do all that, and then they enter the clinical component of the nursing program. And they start usually in Nursing 110. And that is a course that is a combination of theory, lab, seminar, which is like a case study type of exercise, and clinical. In Nursing 110, they go to clinical 1 day a week. And they go and they work with patients, and it allows them to apply what they have learned in the classroom setting to the clinical setting.
Yeah, so they do a lot then.
They do a lot.
So no one really, because everyone always thinks, oh, I'll be a nurse, and then they don't really realize, how much work you really have to do.
It's a lot, and all of our courses, our clinical courses, are 8 credits. So it's a heavy load.
8 credits each for
8 credits each nursing course, because that allows the time for the class, if there's a lab component, and clinical. As you move up through the clinical courses, you add more clinical. So when they get to Nursing 211, there's 2 days a week of clinical.
Oh, wow.
And 1 day of class. And in 212, the same thing. The other thing that we've done, which is new, is we've just integrated an NCLEX preparation package, which the student will get in the beginning of the program, and it provides resources for them to study to facilitate their success both in the program and on NCLEX.
What's NCLEX?
NCLEX is the RN exam. I'm sorry,
Okay.
National Council Licensing Exam for RNs.
Okay, just for
I'm
people
sorry,
who, yeah,
I
people who
understand
don't know.
completely my lingo, so we call it the NCLEX RN exam.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah, so that's new.
Okay. So on a little bit of a funner note, I heard that you're actually were in a movie of some kind.
I was in a movie many, many years ago. I'm a nurse practitioner also, and for those of you that don't know, a nurse practitioner is kind of works many ways like a physician or with a physician in diagnosing and treating illnesses and injuries. And I'm a nurse practitioner, and years ago I was asked to do a video for a company on assessment. So we did a physical assessment on a patient, and I was in the video. So that was fun. That was many years ago though, but it was fun.
It was
It was
fun.
fun.
You
It was
liked
fun. It was
it?
different. I did.
What'd you like about it? Just like being on camera?
Being on camera and just really seeing what goes into making a film, because I had no idea. Being in nursing, obviously, I had no clue, and I found it amusing that the woman would come out every now and then and say, "Your hair's out of place," and I would just laugh and say, "If only you knew what I normally look like. Your makeup's messed up," and just little things like that. Or if when I was assessing the patient who was an actor, if I moved my hand a certain way, "Oh, you're blocking it, we have to do it over again." And it was just different because I was so used to doing things in the clinical area one way. But it was fun. It was really fun. It was different. It was a wonderful experience for someone who didn't have an opportunity to really know that world.
Oh,
so
yeah,
that was
definitely.
fun.
Now, do you show that video at all in the classes here?
We were showing it a lot in the classes here, but it is a VHS. It's not even on a DVD. That's how long ago it was. So we do still have it, and I still have a copy on my shelf. And it's funny because the students will start to watch it, and then all of a sudden they'll go, wait, we know her.
Oh my
so
gosh,
it's funny,
that's
but
too
yeah,
funny.
so I've aged many years since then, but it was fun. It was really fun.
So tell me a little bit about the clubs and activities that the nursing program offers.
The nursing program, our biggest club is our Student Nurses Club. And our Student Nurses Club is students from every level within the nursing program, and they do a lot of fundraising, and they do a lot of work with the veterans. We work with the veterans group here on campus, and this past year and the year before, we have done Trees for Troops, where the nursing club raises funds, and then they go and they pick Christmas trees for enlisted servicemen's families. So they get a Christmas tree if they can't afford one or can't go get one. And what was really exciting is not this past year, the year before, the national Christmas tree that stood in the White House, the Student Nurses Club had an opportunity to go out and help them pick that. So that was really
awesome.
fun. That was fun. We didn't get a chance to do that this year, but we did do that. But we do raise money for that every year. The Nurses Club is also very active in the Heroes Walk, which is in Lansdale, and that raises money to help pay bills for, again, servicemen or veterans that cannot afford it. So last year we raised $3,500, and that might go towards heating bills, electric bills, depending. We have every student in the nursing program, and the clinical component has to do 2 hours of clinical service. So some of that might go to the Heroes Walk. Some of that might be the blood pressure screenings you all see on campus. That is all part of their community service and other educational things. So we do a lot of that. And then the Student Nurses Club is just a little bit separate, but they do a little bit more fundraising to help with different things.
Yeah, they definitely seem like they're really involved, especially with the veterans.
Yeah, they do a lot of work with the veterans on campus.
Now, if they want to get in contact with you or just want to get information about the nursing program, how can they contact you?
The best way to contact me is email, and my email is very simple, lroy@mc3.edu. If they're interested in the admission requirements and what they have to do to be admitted, they're probably better off to contact a nursing advisor over at the Student Success Center in College Hall, because they can then talk through what courses they need and everything else.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. So to contact the nursing program, please go to the Student Success Center. I'm Carissa Mandrakia. This is Spotlight Montgomery County.